How's everyone doing? My name is Gina and I'm doing great. Look what we're doing today. Well, you saw it from the title, but look, we're doing pull from the jar again. Oh my gosh, y'all, I love this series so much because one, it lets me play, which you know I love to do. Two, it lets me use up a lot of my stash. Well, I love it. So, for those that do not know, I came up with this idea to put prompts in this jar, right? And it can be anything from work with watercolors to work from clay, do a page in your, create this journal or create this book, whatever it's called, I don't know. But there's so many prompts in here. There's 52, one for every week, because I plan on doing this weekly. This is a weekly series that I'm going to do all year long. Oh, are we excited? I'm excited. All right, so let me just, actually, I'm just gonna pour them out. That way I have a good chance of getting something really, really good. All right, here we go. I'm not looking. I promise. I'm not looking. Here we go. Create a spring scene. Well, okay. Create a spring scene. What was even going through my mind when I created that prompt? I don't know. Create a spring scene. All right, well, that is what I'm going to do then. I'm going to create a spring scene. I think I have an idea of what I want to do, and I think it's going to be digital. And I think it's going to be animation. I think that's what I want to do. Oh my gosh, can I do that? We're going to see. We will see. All right, that is what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. Create a spring scene. All right. So my thinking is, look at my cute little notepads, y'all. They're up on my Etsy store. They're printable. Go get you some. So my thinking is, we'll have a cute little background, right? With, can y'all even see that? Do I need to come in? Probably. I know it's kind of hard to see. Here, let me see if I can. I mean, I can see this pretty well, but I don't think y'all are able to see it. Here, let's just change colors. Is that even any better? I don't know. But anyway, what my thinking is we'll have like a tree, right? With some bushes. Same thing, bushes, trees. But then I'm going to have a bunny. Can y'all even see this? I'm going to have a bunny hopping across the thing. Oh my gosh, can I do that? I'm not very good at animation. Oh my gosh, this might be a lot for me to take in, to do. But I'm gonna try it. I will try it. That's my idea for a spring scene. It's just to do a hippity, hippity, hippity hop. I'm gonna try it. I'm going to try it. Why not? Why not? Okay, let's make the background. First thing we want to do is create our canvas. I chose 2732 pixels by 2048 and 132 dpi so that I could have lots of layers. The first thing that we want to do is choose a background, and I wanted it to be a sky color, so I chose a blue. Whatever you want to do, you do. Then I moved on to create a clouds, some clouds here. The palette that I'm using is a spring colored palette. With Procreate, what you can do is you can find a picture online that you like, and you can actually have it choose the colors for you from that picture. So that is what I did. So here I am just making cloud shapes. What I like to do is kind of make the shapes, color them in, and then kind of tweak them a little bit to make them look more like the shape that I want. It's just easier for me to do that. Now y'all, this is going to be a very simplistic illustration. We're not doing a lot of detail, especially the background, because we want the bunny to be our focal point, right? Because the bunny is the one who's hippity hoppiting away. So we will spend a little bit more time on the bunny than we do on the background. So the next thing we want to do is we want to create the grass area. So, and I always name my layers, because especially when you start getting a lot of layers, you will want to do that. So just be mindful of that. Try to get in the habit of it. I was never really in the habit of naming my layers, but the more I'm using Procreate, the more I find, yes, I really do need to do that. So we go ahead and make our grass. We're going to make the bushes next, and we want the bushes to be up underneath the grass. And what I'm doing is just using a different color of the same green. I'm making it a little bit darker than the green of the grass, but I'm staying kind of in the family range of that. As you can see, with Procreate, it's really easy. I'm not being sponsored, by the way, with Procreate. I'm going to say it a lot, but I'm not being sponsored. But it just makes it easy for you to stay in that family range by using the palettes that's going on there. And it will keep your history too, which is really great when you want to, you know, use different colors, but you want to keep going back and forth. Now we're going to go ahead and create the trees, the first set of trees. We're going to have two sets. One are close up, one are further back. So again, I'm going to be using two different colored browns for this. The first set are up close, so they're going to have more detail. So I've just put branches on them, whatever way you want to make your branches, whatever way you want them to look like. And I was a little shaky when I drew this, and I don't know why, but I was. So I kind of went with it though, because trees are not perfect, right? They're going to have bumps and grooves and everything else. So I kind of went along with it. So creating, again, the branches, whatever way that you want them to look, because we will add leaves in just a few minutes, seconds actually, on this. I didn't like the way that the branches looked over on the first tree right here, so I'm going to kind of color them in and make them look like they have more of a hump there, and I liked that a lot better. So now what I want to do is create the trees in the background, the further back trees, and still using that same color. I'm just going to choose a lighter color of it and just make the trees. I'm making them just very less detailed, more just like the trunks with little nubbies for branches. I'm not going crazy with the branches like I did with the first set of trees. But I did feel like they needed something on them, not just straight sticks. Now we're going to get into the details of this painting here, or illustration, I should say. I do like to do my details on a separate level in case I mess up. You don't erase everything that you just worked on. So right now I'm choosing the grass color, and I'm creating little grass blades coming up off of the hill there in front of the trees and the bushes and such. And then I will use that same color and just create leaves in the bushes. And I'm just doing little dots, little squiggle marks in groups of 3. And I will also use a darker color to do the same thing. And I will then go ahead and use them to put them on the outside of the bushes to make it look like the leaves are, you know, outside the bushes. You'll see, there it is. There it is. I got there. And I will do that in the colors as well. Just gives it a little bit more fun look, I feel. So those are the bushes that, just to give it more detail, make it look like there's leaves happening on the bush. And then we will start working on the leaves of the trees. And I'm just choosing the bush color at first for the trees up close, because everything that's up close is darker than things far away. So for the tree up close, I'm using the same color as the bush and just creating these leaves. Remember, this is springtime. It's not summer. The leaves have just started to bloom, so we don't need it really, really good and full, right? So I go ahead and do that, and then I will take the grass color and create the leaves for the trees in the very far back because it's a lighter color. And these I make a little bit smaller. I'm actually just like kind of dotting around the areas because I don't want these leaves to overwhelm the first leaves that I did, because these are supposed to be in the way background, right? So I will get that done. And then we will just group this whole thing together once you decide, yes, I love it, I think this looks great. And we'll group it together and we will name it background. Now we get to go and create our cute little bunny. Oh my gosh. So I did have my reference picture of the bunny, and it is the bunny that I created for the planner stickers. Now I'm choosing the color of the bunny here. I wanted it to be like a grayish brownish color, and what I did is there she is. What I did is I just turned off the background group so that I could just have a clean looking area to work on here. And as you see, I struggle with symmetry a lot, so digital work makes it really easy. You can copy the part that you like, flip it, and then move it over to create symmetry, because I do struggle with symmetry, but there we have it. So that's a good thing about digital working. It makes it easy for you to have things symmetrical. So I'm just sketching the bunny out first before I color her in. And again, I turned off the background so that I could really see what I was doing. And once I get the shape of the bunny that I like, I'm going to go ahead and color it in. Here, I love that ear, so I might as well just take it, copy it, and flip it, move it over, right? Because then it'll be symmetrical. Now, don't forget, though, if you do stuff like that, to merge everything together for it to be all on one layer. I decided I didn't like that color. It was a little bit too light, so I went and darkened it up. And it's really easy to do. You just pick the color and you go ahead and just put it on what you've already done. So it makes it really easy. Now you're like, oh my gosh, the details are gone, but that's okay because I've got my reference photo so that I know where things need to go. I'm going to go ahead and work on her face right now and just kind of recreate the face that I did before. And I think that's why she's so cute, is I made kind of like she's a smiling looking up sort of thing, and they're kind of like little heart-shaped eyes. I don't know, it was just a happy little accident when I created the eyes on the, when I did the planner bunny. But I just think she is adorable. Now, I am going to spend a little bit more time on the bunny and give her more detail than I did the background. I will do shading work and all of that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. You could totally leave it looking like a total illustration or cartoon, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to go ahead and blend things. What I do, I figured this out with my digital work, is if I go ahead and put the darker color around, then I can blend it to make it look like there's shading work that is going on. And so that is what I'm doing. I'm adding the dark colors that I want to put in for shade work, like around her nose, right there underneath her eyes, and the ears, the pink part of her ears. Now I'm going to use a smudge tool, and I'm using wet acrylic on it. And this is, you want to make sure your opacity is way down on your brush, and the size of your brush does matter. The bigger it is, the more it's going to smudge out. The smaller it is, the more control you have. So I keep it kind of small. And I did turn off the bunny color itself because it will smudge those colors together and it would muddy them up. So I did not want that. That's why I turned the bunny off. Now, the harder you press, the more it's going to kind of smudge in together. If you lightly feather, it will feather it. If you lightly touch the brush onto the canvas, it will lightly blend it. So you just kind of work with it the way that you want it to look. Now, when you do this, sometimes you do lose some of your crispness of the edges, and you just go back with the color, the darker color, and you can redefine the shapes that you've lost if you so want to do that. But I really love doing this. It just, to me, it makes the illustration look, you know, it has more detail. It looks better with it on. So here I am going back and just some of the detail, that the crispness, I want to say crispness is what was missing. So I'll just finish her up, put her little highlights in her eyes and give her little eyelashes, and her face will be done. Now I'm going to move on to her body part, her arms. And again, I'm just choosing that darker color. I'm not being too careful because I will end up blending this as well. Not as much as I did the face, but especially the paws area. I will end up, spoiler alert, I will end up putting clothes on her. I almost didn't. I almost made her just a naked bunny. And I was like, oh, I want her to look more like my branding bunny that I did. So I am going to end up putting clothes on her. So just FYI, you don't have to, but I did. Again, I'm just using that darker color to kind of put details back into the bunny, putting her feet, her paws, and then I'll outline the whole bunny with this color, but lightly, not too dark. And I won't blend this because I do want it to kind of stand out, so she'll be more off of the page, you know, when we get ready to do, for her to hop along, you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. So now I am going to give her whiskers. I decided she needed whiskers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with her. And now I want to go ahead and I merged her face to her body, because I was happy with it. Now you don't have to do that in case you ever want to change her face. But I was happy with the way it looked, so I went ahead and merged her face with her body. Now I'm creating her dress, and it is going to be on a separate layer again, because if we goof up, we can erase it, but we won't erase that work we just did with making our bunny. I do want her to have a green shirt, so I'm taking the dark green, and again, I'm using the method I just used of taking the dark color, and then I'll add the light color, and I will blend those in together so it looks like they're shadows. So I only put the green where shadows would be, and I'm sorry about the glare, y'all. I did not realize it was such a glare on this until I started editing this video, so I want to apologize about the glare. But you just go and you just blend with the editing magic, you know. It seems like it only takes a few seconds. It can take, you know, a minute or so to do blending, depending on how well you want it blended. And another trick that you can use if you feel like it's getting too dark, you can always go back, of course, with the color of the green or whatever color you're working with, the lighter color, and put it in and blend it again. So that's the great thing about blending. I added a little bit more white to her collar because I felt like it just needed it. And now I'm putting a little bit more of her face on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and make her bottom part of her dress. Again, I'm doing layers with this just so in case I goof up, I can just erase what I goof up and not what I just did. Here I'm like, you know what? Her elbow needs to come down a little bit. And then to me, that was too much of that dark green, so I added the light green, and there I am blending it together. And you can't really tell that I did that. It's an ancient secret. So now I'm adding her bottom part of her dress, which is a pink color. And I did goof up because the inside of the dress needed to be a light pink, but I dropped in the color and made it a dark pink. And that is not what I wanted, but I'll fix it. Don't you worry. So here I am. I'm making her, it's like a little overall dress is what I'm going to make her. I'm doing that. And now I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to change this to the pink that I want it to be. So I change it to the light pink, drop it in, but then just go around it with that dark pink. Just underneath where I know there would be shadow work. And then, of course, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to blend it. Yep, there it is. Blending. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom part of the dress on, the little scallops down there. And I want them to look like they're lace. So you'll see the trick on what I do there. But I go ahead and fill all of that in. Again, apologize about the glare. And now I merged the dress together now that I felt like it looks okay. So now I'm doing details for the dress. And the details are very simple. I'm just putting like little stitching on the straps, and then I'm going to put little hearts on the lapel of the collar. And then for the lace look, I'm taking the color of the bunny body and then just doing little dots so that it looks like you can see through the lace to her body. Cute. Oh my gosh, she's adorable. I love her. I am in love with her. And then it's just a little bit of tweaking. Again, I felt like her paws were a little too out of control, especially her left one, or the one we're looking at on the left, her right, our left. So I will just take that body color and kind of color it in to not make it look so it just did not look right to me. So I just kind of cleaned it up, I guess you would say, that I would do there. And she's going to be done. Isn't she cute? I love her. I absolutely love her. Again, I'm trying to make sure that her face needed to come down a little bit, so I'm adding a little bit more shadow work there. And then I will go ahead and merge that to the dress, but leave the dress and the bunny on separate layers, and I will group them together, and that will be our bunny group. And with this, we can change the way that she looks by using the little arrow button up at the top. You can, squash her, make her longer, whatever way you want to do. If you don't feel like she's looking the best, you can do her whatever way that you want her to look. We can also move her by grabbing her and moving her over to where we are. And that is where I'm going to start with her. And the next portion of the video is going to be us. Well, not right now. Oh, okay. Right, I forgot. I wanted to add squiggle lines on the trees. So I went back to the tree layer and alpha locked it. So whatever we do on it will just stay on the trees. So I'm just putting squiggly lines. I just felt it needed a little extra something. Now, the next portion of our video is going to be the animation portion of how we are going to make this, and I'm going to do it in real time. So the voiceover is over, and I hope that y'all are enjoying the video so far. Hey, Give it a like, share it. Hey, subscribe if you've not subscribed. That would help a lot too. I appreciate it a lot. Oh, we got to do a shadow. That's what I'm doing now. I'm putting a shadow up underneath her, just using a darker color and filling it in. And yeah, so all right, we're going to learn the animation. Up to the wrench, go to canvas and go animation assist. And it looks weird because, again, I forgot to group those. So let's group them. I'm going to, yep, that's fine. All right, so new group. Let's rename it to Bunny. That is our bunny. All right. We're going to change the background to a background. So as you see down here, there are little tabs. So we're going to click on it and we're going to change it to the background. So that brings the bunny into the foreground. And if you have a foreground, you can set the foreground, but we're not going to have one unless you want to have one. But right now we just have bunny. We're going to go over to settings and I want the bunny, I think I want it to be a loop. We'll figure that out in a minute, but I'm changing the frames per second down to 3 because I only want it to be like a 3-second animation. So, but you can mess around with the to me, oopsie, I didn't mean to do that. Let's back that up. To me, the frames per second, even though it technically doesn't mean it, it's just how many frames are going each second. So, or how many layers. Doesn't really mean that, but if I did that, okay, cool. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to be on the bunny group and I'm going to duplicate the bunny. I'm going to rename it to Bunny 2 because now we're going to be doing the why does it think my 2 is an A and then it's going to Z is 2. Okay, whatever. I know that's the second bunny. Now, we want everything but the shadow. So we'll just click on the box of the shadow to take it off. We're going to click on this icon and we're going to, she's going to go up and then come down and then come up and go off the screen. So I want her to, all right, so I've got her selected and if we move her up, you see like a slight looking layer. That's the first bunny where she's on the bottom. We want her to go up and we want her to go over like she's hopping. Maybe bring her down just a little, like she's not doing a huge hop. Now we are going to go ahead and duplicate this group again and we are going to rename it Bunny 3. Okay, so Bunny 3, I do want the shadow because I want it to come back down. So I'm going to make sure I'm on Bunny 3, grab it, and now Bunny 3, I'm going to come back down to where Bunny 1 almost was at, okay? And now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate Bunny 3, rename it to Bunny 4. And without the shadow this time, because now we're going back up in the air, I'm bringing her up like such, right? And then I want to go ahead and duplicate that bunny. We're going to rename it to Bunny 5. And this bunny is going to go up and like it's leaving. All right, so now let's take a look to see if that is cool. And there it is. Okay, we can do another layer and have it totally go off the screen. Let's do that. So let's get another layer. I'm just going, oh no, wait. I'm going to just make these, minimize them so they're not. And I'm going to duplicate Bunny 5. I'm going to grab a hold and I'm going to have it maybe come down. Let's have it, let's just see. Now it's just playing, right? We want to see what is going on. Because we might need to, so let's play it. And we'll go ahead and put that down. Well, this was Bunny 6. And we'll see if we can duplicate it. Whoops. Oh gosh, stop. Stop, 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 stop. Okay, we can. Let's rename it. Bunny 7. And we're going to grab it. And we're bringing it, oh, I don't want the shadow though. Take the shadow off. Grab it, and we're going to go all the way off, but maybe leave just a little bit of her butt behind. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, yes. Isn't that adorable? Oh my gosh, we did it. Like she's bouncing away. I love it. And so there is our animation. Isn't it the freaking cutest thing ever? I love it. I think I'm going to make this my intro to my videos, actually. I think maybe I think I want her to go all the way off the screen. I really do. I think I want to do that. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to make her go totally off the screen. And we'll see. Let's play it. Yeah, I like it. And she's totally off the screen. Nice. I love it. Oh, it's so adorable. Okay, so I did decide to make this my intro. So I wanted just to put some text on, you know, Gina B's Studio, like, subscribe, notifications, or whatever. So that is what I'm working on right now. Just typing it out. When you do a text, it does its own layer. So once I had the two texts together, I will just merge them together. And then I will be able to make it the foreground. So you make the foreground just like how we did the background. Once you get that layer down below, the little icons down on the bottom that we were working with, you just press on it, and just like how on background came up, it will say foreground, and you just click that button and it will make it the foreground, meaning that it will always stay in the forefront of this animation. So that is important to do, because if you don't do it, it will not show up. I can, yay. And then what I want to do is I want to make that my foreground so it does not move at all. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And there it is. So there is my spring scene. It's adorable. I love it. I love it. It is so cute. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to just play, right? Just Procreate makes animation so easy. And it's so much fun. Oh my gosh, I loved doing this so much. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next week. Y'all be good to one another. And do what it says. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself. Alright, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.